Okay, good morning again. It's Nick Petro from the National Weather Service in Raleigh with a winter storm update here. This one as of 11:30 Tuesday, January 21st. So right off the bat here, a couple things I want to mention. Our winter weather advisory, we are in the process of modifying that to make it a winter storm warning for a couple counties, and maybe we're in the process of creating those graphics right now, and perhaps I'll be able to show that here before the end of this particular um, before the end of this particular briefing. Thanks so much for the folks saying they can't see my screen. You should be able to see it now. All right, very good. All right, so yeah, so here's the existing advisory, and again, some of these counties, particularly east of I-95, will be changed to a winter storm warning. I'll have that here for you in just a few moments. So, uh, two key messages. Snow will fall starting late this afternoon through early Wednesday morning. The heaviest snow will fall from mid-evening through about midnight tonight. 1 to 3 inches of snow is what we're now expecting across portions of central North Carolina, mainly east of US 1 with the highest amounts. So, closer to 3 inches east of I-95. So if you're east of I-95, you'll be on the higher end of that 1 to 3 inch range. If you're on west of I-95, you'll be closer to the 1 inch. Okay, if you're west of US 1, you're going to have even less, which basically a dusting, maybe a half inch to under an inch. But even those locations that do not meet winter weather advisory criteria, keep in mind that even a dusting of snow can result in localized slick spots on roads and bridges due to very cold air and ground temperatures. Okay, so basically, this means all of central North Carolina can be impacted. Even places that only get a dusting could have some slick bridges and slick roadways. Okay, but the further you go east, and particularly east of I-95, that's where it will be the worst. Okay, other than that, an extended period of bitterly cold weather is expected through Thursday morning. Daytime highs starting today will only be in the upper 20s to mid 30s, with morning low temperatures the next 3 days ranging from the upper single digits in the normally colder locations to mid teens elsewhere. Okay, so let me switch screens and let's go to the current. Well, let's see here. Bear with me here for just a second. I want to put on here radar. This is live radar. It's from a regional, kind of zoomed out perspective, if you will. And I want to point out that where you see these returns here, right now, I do not believe that's hitting the ground. So, and the reason, the numbers you see here are temperatures, and that's a news story in itself. I mean, here we are, it's almost noon, and we've got 25 degrees at RDU, we've got 26 at Wadesboro, 20 at Greensboro, even down in the normally warmer spot, Clinton, 28, Fayetteville, 27, 26. So here we are. I mean, this is 20, 25 degrees below normal for where it should be this time of year. But look at these dew point readings. These dew point readings are really, really, really low. So the lower the number, the drier it is when we're talking dew point. So it'll take a while before the atmosphere saturates to allow the radar echoes here, which are snow, obviously, will reach the ground. Okay, and just for curiosity, yeah, folks to our south, this is a big news story here. The deep south is really seeing it here. Look at that. It's snowing in the panhandle of Florida. I mean, ain't that something? That's pretty amazing here. And obviously in Louisiana, but that's a whole nother story in itself. All right. So what about when is this finally going to get here? Well, let me turn on some model depictions. So bear with me here as I set that up. And when we're on the day of the event, this is sort of my go-to model, the high-res rapid refresh model. It updates, literally runs every hour for incorporating the latest changes. And let's get to about right now. That's about right now, let's say. And you're wondering, well, wait a minute, I see on radar there's something in upstate South Carolina. There's nothing on the model. Well, that's because the model only shows what's hitting the ground, okay? So anyway, again, what we showed in radar in upstate South Carolina over towards Charlotte on live radar, that's not hitting the ground right now. So let's just advance to we see snow developing over the Charlotte up to along 85 up to the Triad, and then basically from Wadesboro up towards over toward Pinehurst. What time is that? That right there, this timestamp right here is 6 p.m. Okay. So I know you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute. I told some of you on the phone it could be as early as 3, maybe 4 p.m. Well, that's because this model tends to run an hour or two late. Okay, so I'm making when I tell people it could be as early as 3, maybe more likely 4:30, particularly in the Triad and southern portions of central North Carolina. That's because this model tends to run a little like an hour or two late. Okay, particularly early in the first couple hours of the run, but that's again another topic for another time. So this is 6 p.m. timestamp. This could be 4 p.m. This could be 4:30. It might be 5 p.m. But suffice it to say, when those first few flakes you start falling, they will immediately stick and begin to accumulate. So that's why I'm concerned, given how cold it is. So that's why I'm concerned that there could be some slick spots, even in places where we don't have the winter weather advisory, even places where we think there could be just a light dusting of snow, quarter inch, half inch, 3/4 of an inch of snow. There could be some tricky travel. So again, this is 6 p.m., but again, this could be a little earlier. So anyway, model time. This is 7 p.m. model time right here. This is 8 p.m. model time, and clearly, snow is pretty much covering all of central and eastern North Carolina by 8 p.m. Okay, notice that back edge. Notice that back edge is pretty sharp. See right here? So I'm going to leave that line on the screen for now, and we'll see if, as I move the model forward in time, if it moves back. And I'll come back to why in a moment. So that's 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 p.m. No, 12 a.m. Sorry. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So it's pretty much out of here by 6 a.m., at least central North Carolina. Well, actually, out of central North Carolina by what time is that? That's 3 a.m. So by 3 a.m., it's out of central North Carolina. Okay. Now let's go back. Why did I leave that line there? Because west of that yellow line that I drew, it's only snowing along and just west of that line for only a couple hours. So that's why if you're from Greensboro to Albemarle and points west, that's why the amounts are not that much, because there's a sharp cutoff to the back edge. But again, even right here where it first starts snowing, and that time frame right there would be as early as 3, more likely 4, 4:30, 5, maybe 6. Even that couple hour period along that yellow line, could put down a light dusting of snow, and again, could be issues for bridges. All right. If you're up in far northwest Forsyth County, right now, the models suggest you don't have anything to worry about, nothing. Okay, but if you're, and again, don't take this back edge as exactly where the back edge is going to be. This is a model simulation. So it could be a little bit further east, it could be a little bit further west. So that's just the nature of the modeling. The models aren't that good to nail it down to these specifics. So I even hesitate to show you this sometimes because I don't want people to take it as exact verbatim. This is what's going to happen. This is just a rough idea. All right. The blue is snow. The pink is like heavier snow. The orange is sleet, and the green is rain, by the way. So where you see this pink purple shade, that's where it's snowing heavier. The blue is snow, light to moderate snow. Okay. So let me remove that line, and then I will go through this one more time. So that is that's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. So by 7, 8, 9 p.m., you're going to see snow overspreading basically central and eastern North Carolina. Look at those pink shades down by Fayetteville, Whiteville, Lumberton. That's where this heavier snow is falling. Okay, so this is 10 p.m. tonight, 11 p.m., midnight. So you could see there could be episodes or periods where the snow's falling heavier. Okay, even as far west as say Clayton or Garner. could get into a brief period of this bands of heavier snow. We call it snow banding. Okay, there's a science and reason behind it, but suffice it to say, there could be localized spots where there's higher amounts due to this banding. All right, so let me back up one more time. So that is 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. It's coming down pretty decently along and east of I-95. 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Okay, so if you're in central North Carolina, particularly along I-95, counties surrounding I-95, it's going to be coming down pretty hard from about right there, which is 9 p.m. up until right about there, which is let's say 2 a.m. So 8, 9, 9. Let's just say 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is pretty snowing pretty heavily along in east of I-95. Okay. All right. So, how much? How much? Well, I've already sent these slides, by the way. If you're on our email list, you've already got these slides in your inbox. I sent them, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. If you're not on our email list, you can go to weather.gov/Raleigh, and you could download these slides from the weather briefing tile towards the bottom of the page. All right, so here's our official snowfall amount. 1 to 2 inches for the triangle region, maybe closer to 2 inches along I-95, east of I-95, 2 to 3 inches. And if you're at the coast, I mean, basically east of Highway 17. Highway 17, if you're not familiar, runs somewhere basically along this corridor right here. If you're east of Highway 17, that's where you'll be able to shovel the snow. Okay. All right. All right. All right, so I'm going to show one more thing before I stop the recording, and that is bear with me here for just a second while I load it on one screen and pull it over onto the other. If you go to weather.gov/Raleigh, and oh, by the way, this just populated. See the pink? That is now the winter storm warning. So Cumberland, Sampson, Wayne, Wilson, and Edgecombe counties have been transitioned from a winter weather advisory to a winter storm warning, which basically is driven by amounts. So we think these 5 counties here in the Raleigh County warning area could see up to 3 inches of snow. Okay, so that's why the advisory that was in effect earlier for those 5 counties is now a warning, because we think the snow amounts could be a little higher. Okay. All right, the winter weather advisory is this dark blue, and the light blue, basically, which covers all of central North Carolina. You just can't see it because it's hidden above these other colors, is a cold advisory. Okay? All right, so if you scroll down and click on this winter tab, okay, this winter snowflake right here. All right, this is your one-stop shop for winter information, where we have our warnings and advisories are posted here. If you go to probabilistic snowfall, you could see the official National Weather Service forecast for snow. You can see the reasonable worst case scenario for snow. The other thing I want to show you real quick is the probabilistic precipitation portal. If you click on that, let me back up in case you didn't see where I clicked. I'm clicking right here, right there. Okay, right there where it says NWS Probabilistic Precipitation Portal. All right, so if you click on that, this takes you to a really neat way of visualizing how much snow I could possibly get. All right, so if we zoom in, what we're seeing here by default is our official forecast, how much we are expecting. Okay, so if we zoom in, you can mouse over it. So see, it just automatically shows, if you're in, let's say, Clayton, 1.1 inches, right? If you're in Clinton, 1.9 inches. If you're in Harrells, that's southern Sampson County, 2.5. So you get the idea. If you're up here in Winston-Salem, 0.2. Okay, quarter inch of snow. You're probably thinking, it's not much. I don't have anything to worry. Yes, actually, you do should have something to worry about. Even a light dusting of snow can cause issues on bridges. Okay, so anyway, this is the official forecast. If you want to see a reasonable worst case scenario, if it ends up going higher, click this high end amount, and then you can see how it changes. So then, basically, what this tells us is that 1 to 2 inches, that pushes further west, and the 2 to 3 inch area also pushes further west. Okay, so you could see expected amount versus reasonable worst case scenario. Basically, the higher amounts are just shifted further west. Okay. Another neat tool is if you click on one of these dots, I'll just randomly click on Garner here. You can see a little box here that pops up that shows you what is your likelihood of seeing these various amounts. Okay, so there's the probabilities of seeing various amounts. Okay, so definitely take advantage of that tool. And lastly, the last thing I want to draw your attention to, and I will show you this via weather.gov/Raleigh/NC, weather.gov/Raleigh/NC. That takes you to our statewide pages. And what I want to show you here is temperatures over the next couple days. So here's today's high temperatures, not even hitting freezing barely, in barely hitting freezing, I should say, in Raleigh. High of 28 at Greensboro. I mean, that's really, really cold. So our low tonight, we're talking teens. The high tomorrow, again, barely getting above freezing, maybe staying below freezing for a big chunk of central North Carolina. Tomorrow night, we're talking lows back into the teens. So any of the snow that melts due to the sunshine tomorrow will likely refreeze. So we're looking at black ice possibilities. That would be wet Thursday morning. So again, you could see there's Thursday's high temperatures getting into the upper 30s finally. You have to go all the way till Sunday before we get back to where we should be this time of year, which is low 50s. Okay, look at these low temperatures: teens, 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 20s, low 20s Saturday morning. So we're going to be in the teens much of the rest of the week. What about wind chill? Here's the wind chill, lowest wind chill reading tomorrow morning. We're talking single digits. Um, and then Thursday morning, wind chills will be not so bad. It'll be a little less windy, okay? But still cold. All right, what else? So that is the main thing I wanna share with you. Again, if you go back to weather.gov/Raleigh right here, scroll down and click on this winter weather tile. That'll take you to our winter weather one-stop shop.